What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Brand Doctor Podcast episode. Today is going to be a very tactical day, I must say. So a friend of mine, newly friend, reached out to me on Instagram with a phenomenal approach. He literally sent me a video on Instagram and said, "Hey man, I know you don't know who I am, but I am DMing you selfishly right now to let you know that I help people grow their businesses through DM communication." And what I mean by DM is direct message. So for those folks that may not be familiar with Instagram, it's the way that you communicate with people privately on the platform. So he said, "Listen, I would love to help you grow your business. I help a lot of coaches and consultants like yourself. Let me help you for 7 days. And in return, all I ask is for you to give me a testimonial, whether it be written or video." And I said, how the hell can you say no to that? So when we got on the phone and we started talking, I really liked the energy from this guy. And I said, I got to have him on the show because he is quite the genius when it comes to lead generation and specifically closing business using direct message on Instagram. So without further ado, I want to introduce Cody Zhang to the show. What is going on, my man?
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here.
Dude, so you are from Sydney, Australia?
Yep.
So it's a little early over there for you.
I just got up about half an hour ago, so here I am.
The one thing about Australian folk, at least the ones that I've worked with and done business with, is you guys have quite the work ethic. And you guys will make it happen. You guys will do what it takes. And I appreciate that from you guys. I really do.
Thank you. I mean, I don't know if that's true for everyone. I mean, typically when you think of Australians, you probably think super laid back, super chill, just relaxing. But yeah, there are some hard workers here as well.
Yeah. So I want to kind of get into your backstory a little bit because I want to give people an understanding. Well, first of all, you're on my show, so that means you're somebody. And I want to make sure that people stay tuned because there's a lot of things that you actually said to me the other day that I was like, man, if my audience could hear what he is saying, this is going to help them tremendously. So, but before we get into all of that, I want you to sort of take us behind the scenes to how you got into digital marketing and all of that in the first place, because everybody's trying to hop into this scene over the past couple of years, and a lot of them hop right out when they realize how hard it is. So my question to you was, how'd you get started in this, and what made you start to reach out to people like you reached out to me?
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say a couple of years ago, I was studying at university. I studied a bachelor's of exercise and sports science, like health and fitness related. I still love health and fitness, but I was like, this really isn't for me. And there's really nothing else in university or in college, we call it university over here,
sure, that
I was really interested in. So I was like, I'm not going to give them money doing something that I'm not passionate about, right? So I decided to just start working full time. And were you going to say something?
No, where'd you work?
Okay. I was just doing waitering jobs. A cafe here, cafe here, cafe here. Then I got another sales job that I did for 2 years. It was basically fundraising on the streets, approaching people on the streets. Probably like the hardest form of sales because you have to like bring in your own leads, complete strangers, and then sell them on something that they didn't even really want because it's charity, really. It's just nice to have. So I was doing that, but I was like, look, I don't want to keep doing this forever. So then searched online, searched quite a few different programs, online courses, closing over the phone, this and that, but none of them really worked for me until I started to really just focus on one thing with that singularity of focus. Because in this day and age, like there's so many opportunities, it's hard for you to really just dial in one, like which one should I choose? So nothing really worked until I started doing what I'm doing right now, which is basically like Instagram, marketing, selling, however you want to call it.
Sure. So how long have you been doing this?
Like 4 or 5 months.
Okay. So talk to us about what exactly that you do.
Yeah. So I do really two things. I help coaches or businesses, entrepreneurs really do two things. So I help them brand them and themselves and their business on Instagram. And then I also help them monetize their Instagram.
Got it. So specifically through the direct message. So talk to me about how that actually goes down.
Yeah. So do you mind if I start off with just branding first?
Let's do branding.
Yeah. So there's really three things that I utilize. I utilize the feed, the stories, and the DM, as you already mentioned. The feed and the stories are all used to brand your business. So you set up what I call an authority branding cycle with the right type of things to post every single day on your feed, on your stories as well to connect with the audience.
And what would that
then,
be, Cody? Give me an
yeah,
example of a well-branded feed. Start there.
yeah, because the feed, it's really like the front of the window shop, you could say. The first thing that people come to you see, right? In my opinion, it just has to look good, really. Because when someone goes into your feed, they're not going to scroll down to the very bottom, but it has to look good, right? It has to attract people. So I follow a 4-day cycle. So the first one is an authority post, something that displays that you're an authority. And the easiest way to do that is just teach. One thing to do, one thing to never do, something really simple that shows people that you've got the goods, really.
Love it.
So that's
Love
authority.
it.
Number two is proof. Best form of proof, in my opinion, is social proof. So if you can have student testimonials, case studies, this or that. Or you can even have a demonstration where you do a screen recording demonstrating something. That's also a form of proof. So authority, proof. Number three is what I call a connection post. This is outside of what you do in business. It's friends, family, disclosure, you at the gym, something that allows you to really connect with your audience, because even if you have all of this authority and proof, if they don't trust you, they're never going to buy from you, right? So you need to be able to develop that connection, and you do that with trust. That's number three, connection. And number four is what I call an engagement post. So the purpose of this is to get people to engage with that post. And with this, you can simply just ask a question. You could say, do you prefer option A or option B? Or you could ask them, what's your biggest struggle with personal branding, with Instagram marketing? Something to just get them to engage with you. So that's really the 4-day cycle for the feed.
And then what do? You rinse and repeat that?
Rinse and repeat, no days off.
No days off. Okay. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you build brand on your feed.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to story.
Yeah. The stories follow a very similar thing as well. So 4-day cycle as well, rinse and repeat. I would say first day is authority, but at the end, you can take what you post that day in the feed, you put it in the story, but keep it between 30 to 60 seconds. Because if you make it too long, you can see people watch one story, another story, then you get less view counts, because people's attention span, let's be honest, is all over the place. Even if you have the best kind of stories, people still will just just click to the next.
Yeah.
And just to preface with this story, it is best to have a selfie style rather than professional grade kind of here, just because the feed is the glamour where it looks good, but the stories is hey, behind the scenes, revealing, more personal, more connection, up in the face. Oh, spontaneous, even though it doesn't have to be spontaneous. So we'll go to the specific cycle. So day one is authority plus a call to action at the end. So just teaching something as well. You could teach what you put in the feed that day. You don't have to. Then at the end, just put a short call to action to DM you, to swipe up, whatever you want. That's day one. Day two is proof as well. Proof plus call to action. Day three is another connection, but day four is different. It's not engagement like in the feed. It's what I call a spear in Instagram story. Spear stands for short, personal, expecting a response. It's simply a call to action, really. It's something like, hey, are you struggling with X? If so, me and my team just came up with Y to help you do Z. DM me the word bananas, and I'll get you all the details. Whatever you want to put in there.
So SPEAR stands for short, personal,
expecting a response.
Expecting a response. That's awesome. Okay, nice. I love acronyms. So easy to remember things when you chunk them down like that.
Plus, it's like speed, chucked in them, and then they come
Yeah,
back.
exactly. Okay, got it. Wow, this is cool stuff. Okay, so this happens, and then what?
Right. So now you've displayed yourself as the authority. You're in your business. People know you have stuff. They trust you, hopefully, if you do it long enough. And one of the stories, we set up the call to actions. So now you've got people DMing you, right? So you've set yourself as you branded you and your business now, but now you have to monetize, because what's the point of all of this without making any money and helping any people?
Agreed.
So with the DMs as well, I follow a 4-step structure as well. I think 4 might be my favorite number now.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So in that, you have engage, qualify, convert, and confirm.
Engage,
right?
Qualify.
Engage, qualify, convert, confirm. So, you ready?
Awesome. Go. This is awesome.
All right, let's do it. So engage is basically when they engage with you. Now we've already set that up with the call to actions in the stories. Like most like coaches that I talk to and most entrepreneurs, they do all of the outreaching themselves. They comment on people. They reach out to people that comment on their posts, or they just, I don't actually know how they do it. They somehow outreach to people and then they get them on the phone and close them. We do it differently because we get them to come to us, and that's better for your positioning.
Sure.
Because they're like the prospect with a problem in pain. You're like the doctor with the solution, right?
That's why they call me the brand doctor.
Exactly. They come to you. They come to your clinic, right? And then
that's right.
Solutions. Yeah. So engage is all taken care of with the right stories, and then qualify. So you ask them the right qualifying questions. You start off with, tell me what's going on right now. Tell me about your current situation. What would you say you're at right now? What would your goals be 90 days from now? And then get into that. What do you need help with? What are you missing? At the end, you can either do one of two things, right? You can either schedule an appointment with a closer that can close them over the phone. This is if you're a coach or a consultant, right?
Sure.
If you're doing this for like local businesses like bars or restaurants, you wouldn't be asking them, where would you at right now? Where would you like to be 90 days from now? When they just want to book an appointment, right? A reservation for a restaurant. So you just run them through like a shorter version of that. Yeah, cool. Which time works better for you? 7 a.m., 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Something like that. You don't want to go too deep with that. But if you're a personal trainer, if you're a coach and consultant, any of that, doing online business, run through the whole thing, because you need to qualify them more, because typically you're selling a high ticket program, right? So instead of the phone call, what I like to use is what I call a case study video, right? It's simply basically like a sales page that doesn't look like a sales page that you typed up off the cuff, like right there. And then you do a screen recording of that. So it's kind of like them coming into your house and then you just walking them through. This is how the program works. This is how the toy works. This is how the gym equipment works. And then with that, you just send that to them. You let them know, watch this through. If you're in, let me know. If you're out, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. That's basically the conversion tool, conversion mechanism we use instead of the phone call. And like on a phone call, 30 to 45 minutes, that's one person you're speaking to.
Yeah.
But if you send out the video, let's say you're really slow, you can only DM one person per minute, which is, if you're really slow, that's still 30 to 45 people in that same amount of time. Even if 2 of those people said yes, that's still more than the people who agreed to you on the phone call. If that makes sense.
It does. Yeah, it does. So let me take back a step, because I know my audience is saying, okay, explain the case study video a little bit deeper here, because I know that they're going to take action on this, but they want to make sure that they're taking action on the right thing to do, right? So I think walk us through that case study video again, just a little slower, so these folks can take notes and pick up on this.
Right. Okay. So go on a Word document or go on a Gmail draft, right? Type in first, this is going to be different for everyone, and I can't give you the exact word by word
Sure.
because that would be impossible.
Right.
So at the very beginning, just write down the overview of your program,
Okay.
whatever you're selling.
Okay.
Just this is what it's going to be, and also write down why you're doing this. I
Okay.
could be wanting to help 100 digital marketers. I could be wanting to help 100 people who've suffered with X problem. The why is very important as well. So they understand, oh, he's not just trying to get my money. So brief overview of the program, why you're doing it, and then you have the summary of the program really. So week 1, week 2, something like that. Just a brief overview. Also try to inject as much social proof. I call it inject because you're just like putting it in social proof as possible, just so they're like, okay, this person's getting other people results. And then after you've gotten that, after that, you have what I call preempting objections. So people coming into the program that might be like, oh, maybe I'm too young, maybe I'm too old, maybe let's say it's a fitness program, maybe I have a slow metabolism, something like that. You just say, hey, and it doesn't matter if you have a slow metabolism. This person did it and they got this result. Why can't you do the same? So you're basically, because on a phone call, you can speak to them, you can engage with them, and then handle their objection. With this, you're just sending it to them. You can't talk to them, but it doesn't matter because you're just listing out all the objections and why. It doesn't matter. So most likely they won't
And
have
what are
any
they? Are you
objections.
talking to them? Like, are you talking into the camera, or are you sharing screen and walking them through like an outline in a Google Doc? Like,
Yeah, so you type it out and you
okay,
do a screen share so they can see the screen and they can also see your face.
got it. Okay. So they're looking at my outline in Google Docs, and I'm basically taking them through the outline.
Yeah,
Okay, I
just
like
super
it.
like off the cuff. It's
I
probably
like
like
it.
5 to 10 minutes.
I
And
like it.
then to preface the video, you're like, cool. So based on what you've told me, Sefa, I do believe we can help you with X problem, get to Y result. I actually just filmed the video for you. Does it work if I send it over to you? Send them the video, and then you tell them, once you've watched it, let me know if you're in, out, or if you have any questions. And
Ah,
that's basically it.
that's it. Okay, so you engage them, you qualify them by asking them some questions, seeing where they're at. Then you can send them a quick screen share video that you'd probably do ahead of time. And then
Yeah.
you basically save that somewhere on your phone. And then, just like you said,
So
five
that's,
10 minutes, nothing
yeah.
crazy long, right? And then send that over to them. And then I like how you sort of button it up at the end. It's let me know if you're in, you're out, or if you have any questions. That will basically keep the maybes and the I don't knows or the let me think about it to a minimum. Okay, I love this. So then what happens after that?
Yeah. So that's the third step. That's convert. That's the
Right.
conversion mechanism, the video. We still need to collect the money, right? So if they say, whatever happens, right? If they say they're in, perfect. That's like the easiest one that you probably get. Once they're in, you literally just send them the payment link to purchasing a program.
Yeah.
There's no fancy webinar, no fancy landing page,
Um,
literally just a payment link.
Yeah, I
You
think
just,
webinars are dead, man. I hate to say it, but like I think webinars are dead. I mean, we're getting busier by the day and nobody's sitting at an hour and a half webinar like they were 4 years ago. It's just not happening.
yeah. And everyone knows what the special training is anyway.
Yeah. Everybody knows that you're going to wallop us with a $2,000 course or whatever the hell it is at the end. So like, just get to the point and be straight up. Like, here we go. This is what it is.
Yeah.
I think I respect that more because that person's respecting my time.
Yeah.
And that is what I value more than money itself. And I think we need to pay attention to that when we're working with higher quality clients and working with selling higher ticket products and services. What I mean by high ticket, just AKA expensive, more expensive. Because those folks that are able to afford those things, they're worried about how long it's going to take to implement, how long it's going to take them to do. And at the end of the day, they're saying, how quickly can I make money with this? If you're a B2B, if you're business to business, or, how quickly can I enjoy this if you're B2C, right? So very, very important to be really respectful of people's time and be straight up. Listen, I don't want to waste your time. That's why I always ask up front, like, what's your budget? And like, I don't want people to get defensive when I ask that, right? I'm not, trust me, if your budget's 10,000, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, my product's 10,000, right? I had somebody get smart with me the other day. I said, don't, so that's what I said. I said, don't get defensive when I ask that question. And they wrote back something along the lines of, don't get mad when I say no, because your price is almost identical to my budget. Right. And I was like, so I wrote back and I was like, buddy, I won't, but I can promise you that I will be way more expensive than your budget will ever be. And that I could guarantee. Right. And that is just something that I want to put out there, because like most people's budgets aren't realistic. They're not. I mean, I've had people come to me and say, can you build me out an entire business for $7,500? And I want to make $1 million in the next year. I said, does that sound proportionate to you? The amount of effort, does that sound proportionate to you? You're going to spend $7,500 and you're going to return $1 million. No. So we're apples and oranges here, right? And then I go on to tell them, my clients typically spend anywhere from 15 to 20% of what it is that they're trying to earn in the next year. So do the math, right? You can't make major moves with minor effort. And that I didn't make up. That's an old Jim Rohn quote, right? But man, that one will stick with me forever. People want to major in the big stuff, but they want to put in the littlest effort, right? Or they major in the wrong things, right? They're majoring in stupid things that don't move the needle. So this stuff that we're talking about today, these are needle movers. These are things that that must be or should be a must for you in order to make money. Like everybody wants 1 million followers on Instagram, but they don't want to do this type of work to monetize.
Yeah, this is what monetizes it.
Yes.
Because like I worked with accounts over 100,000 followers and they could barely monetize it because their followers, they weren't targeted. They didn't know the right strategy. They didn't know this.
Yeah.
So what's the point of having all of these followers if you're not actually making money and helping people? Because like I truly believe you can't help someone truly until you close them, until they come into your program.
I believe, and I've always believed, that people that pay attention.
Absolutely.
If they don't have any skin in the game, what's it worth? I always tell the funny story about my shoes. Like back in the day, I still am kind of a shoe guy. And like if I scuff one of my loafers, I'm pissed because I paid a lot of money for them, right? But if they were sandals that I picked up at, Old Navy for $15 and I scuffed them, I wouldn't give a shit because they were only $15. It's the same thing when you're building your business. Like you don't want to invest in it, but you want all of this return. And it just doesn't work that way. And so, I was thinking about this today when I was driving back and forth from lunch. I was like, why do a lot of these folks come to me asking me for help when it comes to building their brand? And then when I tell them what the investment may be, they crawl under a rock. And I'm just here to tell you guys, if you want to make moves, if you want to make major moves, you got to put in major effort, right? People don't, I'm working with a lot of pro athletes now, right? These guys have dedicated their lives to this game. Not all of them make it, but the ones that do, they are night and day to the ones that don't. Why? Because they do whatever it takes. That's it. They all have their reasons. They all have their whys behind how they made it to the NFL or how they made it to the league. And when you find a big enough reason, you will do whatever it takes. And Cody has literally gave us a half an hour of his day today to share with us the tactical ways to make this happen, to monetize your Instagram account. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? So before we wrap up, Cody, once we went through the engage, the qualify, the convert, the confirm. You've slated out very, very simple.
I was just about to finish on the last part.
Yeah,
Without
please.
the last part.
Please.
Okay. With the last part, you might just like double, even triple your sales. So this is why it's very important, because we've all had it in the past when we send people payment links and they told us, I'm in, man, I want to buy. But then they don't actually end up buying, right?
No.
Because they procrastinate, they're scared, they've had excuses, right? So what you want to do is basically walk them to bed and tuck them in, like I call it, right? You need to babysit them. So you tell them, awesome, congratulations. You send them the payment link. You tell them, click this to get yourself registered. Let me know when you're on the inside, okay? So I'll tell my team to throw in a bonus for you, something like that. So I hope you heard that clearly, but you're basically incentivizing them to confirm with you so they get an extra reward. Right. Even if your program doesn't have an extra reward, you can just frame it as that. So let's say you have a program that's designed for like an 8-week program, but it's all filmed. It's like they can watch it at any time. So you let them know, great, congratulations. I'm going to let my team to know to give you lifetime access. So whenever there's an update, you'll get it straight away. They were going to get the update anyway, but you frame it as the bonus for it. And you're not lying.
I like how you prefaced it in the first scenario. I like how you said, let me know when you're on the inside so I can trigger my team to send you a nice bonus.
Yep.
That there just does so much to me psychologically to make me want to make that happen. One is it creates a tremendous amount of curiosity. Well, what is this bonus?
Yeah.
Right. And that's going to push me over. That's really going to push me over.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
The main thing is the message is that, hey man, like this is really happening. Like you can't be like everything else and wait till the next day. You actually have to do this. There's people like waiting on you, something like that. Yeah. That's really the underlying message here that you're putting to them. And that's really the entire like system for the branding and for the monetizing, with the feed, stories, and the DMs. And obviously you can set up follow-ups as well. Follow up every 24 hours, in my opinion, because the money is in the follow-up. Not everyone is ready to buy right now.
Yeah.
And the reason for this, you can see there's no ads, no bots in here, right? You're not doing what everyone else is doing. Not many people are utilizing the DM correctly right here. Mm-hmm. And it's all organic, this entire system. And it saves you time as well. Because on the phone call, as I said before, it takes up so much of your time. This, you can send out so many video links again and again.
Yeah, I think you just gave thousands of people something to do going forward when it comes to monetizing your Instagram account. And again, I think this could be replicated on different platforms, not just Instagram. I think you can replicate this however you'd like on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook, however you like. I mean, the platforms are all pretty much the same. They all just have different functionalities, but like this is a tremendous tactical approach to monetizing your account. And like I said in the beginning of the show, like we want to go tactical sometimes on these shows because, you know, a lot of it's storytelling and inspiration and motivation. But this one here was like, do this, and this over and over and over again, and you will get tremendously good at it. And we never put any guarantees out there, but I can almost guarantee that if you get good at this, if you practice this for 30 days, give yourself 30 days and listen to this episode again or watch this video again, and then give yourself 30 days to act on this in these 4-day rotations and cycles, in the feed, in the story, in the DM, and watch what happens to your bank account. That's it. And then go over to Cody Zhang, Zhang, on Instagram and thank him personally for giving you this insight. So that's my ask for you guys today, is to go and head over to Instagram and follow Cody Zhang. So it's CODY ZHANG. And just watch what this guy does. Pay attention to him. You may even want to hire him or give him a shot with his 7-day trial. I think it's phenomenal of what he's doing, but he's worth a conversation because he is tremendously savvy when it comes to monetizing Instagram accounts. So, Cody, my man, thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing these insights and really walking us literally step by step to how to monetize your Instagram account.
Thank you for having me.
Phenomenal. Now I'm pumped. Now I'm like, I can't wait to get off this episode so I can start doing this. So hope you got some value out of this one, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Share this podcast with somebody that you think will get value out of it. If you haven't left a written review on iTunes, please go over there and do that now. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop some comments or questions below. You guys know that I'm very responsive when it comes to you guys interacting with me there, and I will make sure that I get answers for you right away. So have an amazing, amazing day, guys. And all I ask you to do is actually execute what it is that Cody said to you. I can promise you, you're going to see a couple extra zeros in your bank account if you do. Have an amazing day. I'll catch you on the next episode. Take care.